Hi, this is Editing Mouse from the Time Void, aka Under Their Blanket. That is also the reason why this isn't as clean as the rest of the episode. I'm just dropping in to give a quick spoiler warning for the movie Knives Out. I didn't want to spoil it and I stated so in the beginning, but in the middle of the episode we found out the premise wasn't working without spoiling it. So I recommend you watch the movie before listening to this episode. This movie lives from twists and turns, and it just isn't as fun when you hear them from us instead of watching the movie. I also want to apologize on past Mel's behalf. He just wasn't getting his English right. They did a lot of grammatical errors and for some reason had a bad German accent. I do think the episode is still enjoyable, and because it's getting hot under the blanket, I would say we jump right in. This was a disaster at the end. For whatever reason, the last episode, I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to hold together this episode, but we will certainly try.
Suck it, Byron!
I mean, let's see. Maybe this is going to be better, faster, whatever.
Nope.
Lita is doubting it.
Nope, I know. Nope, because I know my genre, and I know the genre of your movie, so...
Oh shit, okay.
I chose it explicitly to harbor chaos.
Okay, so you choose violence today, good to know.
Ever wondered what will happen if a semi-stable scientist, a lab explosion away from being a supervillain, teams up
with a caffeine-addicted screenwriter ready to fight the system?
Well, buckle up, buckaroo, 'cause we're about to dive right in to the madness of transdimensional travels.
Take a seat in the front row as we take beloved movies from this dimension and pitch it with a completely different genre, thus creating a whole new classic. Hi, I'm Mouse.
Hi, I'm Professor J.E.L.Lehnsherr, and this is In Another Reality.
A transdimensional journey exploring beloved stories in another universe.
Imagine mad scientist
meets Starbucks screenwriter. And I'm very confused because you threw a hi in there that's normally not there, but I keep pushing on and I'm very proud of me after the laughing attack in the last episode. What we do is we take beloved movies from this dimension and pitch it with a new genre and therefore creating a new plot in another one. I did it this time.
Yeah, because you just caught me off guard with your start that I was like, oh, I should say hello as well.
This is fine. This is not an even more disaster than usual. Yeah, I think housekeeping, we said everything last episode. I remember what I wanted to say. I'm super curious. If you want to tweet us, write us on Tumblr, send us a DM on Instagram or comment on any kind of post. Who are you guys listening from Washington? The majority of our listeners are coming from fucking Washington. I don't know any person from Washington. Like, what is up with that? Who is listening in Washington?
I only know one person in the States, and that's the beloved, amazing Hannah, who is living in Texas. So who the fuck are you guys from Washington?
I'm super confused. Like, thank you for being here, but I'm very interested in like how you found the podcast and who you are and where you're coming from. So yeah, tweet us or just like message us. I'm very curious.
Also, I just want to point out that when Mel's told me we have listeners from Washington, I thought you guys were literally George Washington's gang, and I was like, huh, we reached the president.
Yeah, almost. But yeah, no, I'm very curious because, yeah.
Imagine in the end it's actually Joe Biden.
That would be really funny. No, anyways, yeah, thank you for being here on however way you found this podcast.
Yeah, we love you.
I just, once again want to mention, we now have a Twitter, a Tumblr as well. You can find those accounts down below. You can also write us an email if you want to, if you're from Washington listening and not have social media. Our email address is J.E.L.Lehnsherr97, I think, at gmail.com.
I think so too, but I'm not sure.
It is down below.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can rate us or do a review of our podcast on Spotify as well. That would be great if you like to do it. It really helps us finding new listeners and see what we're doing good. And yeah, Apple Podcast is also always available for that. So yeah, thank you. If you would like to do that, would mean a lot to us. I can't speak. This episode's going to be a mess.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you have something as well for housekeeping.
Oh, yeah. I would like to shout out one of my favorite projects. It's the Keats musical, who are inspiring a bunch of people who bring the life of John Keats onto stage. It's currently still in the making, but they have 3 songs out, and they are amazing. They are an amazing team, and I just want to place a gigantic shout out to them. Maybe check them out as well. They are great people.
Yeah.
I would love to work for you guys. Just as a writer or as a songwriter, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a shout out because last episode was like heavily featured by Keats. Just a tiny bit.
Just a tiny bit. Like, he was barely there, just in the corner snogging Percy Shelley. What?
All right. So, it is my turn to bring a movie again, which means I'm once again terrified that Lito has already guessed it, because he made some comments that make me think he might have, but maybe he's wrong. He was wrong before.
Yeah, but I have this feeling, you know. So the movie is a detective movie and kind of a mystery, right?
I said detective mystery, yes.
So, so if it's a movie you actually really like with an actor you kind of like, I'm guessing it is Knives Out.
I hate you. I fucking hate you. Why?
I'm just that good.
It isn't even classified as detective. It's classified as mystery. I threw the detective in there because I thought it made sense. Yeah, it is Knives Out.
Just know you that well.
It is a really great movie.
I know. I'm going to end you all.
Oh boy, I am scared. I'm just gonna say a little bit about the movie. Right, so Knives Out is, like I already said, a mystery detective movie. I would also say it's like a comedy kind of and a family drama. I think you could classify it as those two things as well, but yeah, mostly a murder mystery. And I definitely won't spoil it because everybody needs to watch this movie. The plot twists are great, and knowing them is just going to ruin not the whole movie. It's still a good movie, but it will not be the same experience. It is, I think, one of the greater mystery movies in later years we saw in the cinema. The cast is amazing. So many great people in there. You have the red herrings, you have the plot twists, you have the Chekhov's gun you expect from a murder mystery, and there's just a lot of like love for the detail in there. And yeah, everyone go watch this movie. I won't spoil it. I just want to run down the characters real quick and where they are at the start of the movie. We have Harlan Thrombey. I'm very bad at saying this name.
I need to see it written down.
I think it's Thrombey. Anyways, he is a wealthy novelist who got this wealth and got famous by writing murder mysteries. He was celebrating his 85th birthday, and then the next morning was found dead by the housekeeper.
Your English is somewhere out of the roof.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening. It is.
It took me a minute to get that you mean 85th.
What did I say?
85. 85th? Fived. Something like that. I was like...
Okay. I should start again. I just start again. It's fine. I will start again with the characters. We have Harlan Thrombey. He is a wealthy novelist who writes murder mysteries. And at his 85th birthday party, he dies like after that and gets found, and his body gets discovered the next morning from his housekeeper Fran. And so obviously everyone is a suspect because everyone stayed there for the birthday. And while the police think it might be a suicide because his throat was slit, but Benoit Blanc, but Benoit Blanc, a private detective, doesn't think so. He accepts. This is disaster. He suspects foul play, and got a
The brain is like, he suspects foreplay? I mean, there's Chris Evans involved.
He expects foul play because he was anonymously paid to investigate, which is like kind of suspicious. He's very good at his job and actually kind of famous for what he does. Then the children from Harlan, the guy who was murdered, are Linda. She has like a secret letter language thing going on with her dad. When she was younger, they wrote like letters in invisible ink. We have her husband, Richard, and they have together a son, Ransom. Ransom had like a good connection with Harlan, but yeah, he doesn't work, and he finds the whole situation funny that the family's at each other's throat because the throat of... I wanted to do a very bad wordplay and decided against it.
But his throat was cut, so...
Yeah, exactly. Then another kid of Harlan is Walt. He actually works for his dad and publishes his books. He wants movie deals. I like to make movie deals with the books, but Harlan is against it. And his wife is Donna, and like she's like very jumpy. We have Joni. She's a widow and was married to the other son of Harlan. She actually steals from him, and because she gets college money for her daughter, who is called Meg. Then we have the mother of Harlan, who is around, doesn't really speak, but witnessed something that might be from importance. What I forgot to mention was that Linda's husband, Richard, actually cheats on her. Then we have Martha Campera. She's basically one of the main characters. Like, they're all main characters, but she's like in the focus a little bit. She's like Harlan's nurse and like a really good friend to him. She's actually the sole beneficiary from his wealth, so she gets everything after he died, so the family isn't really happy about that. Her mother is actually an undocumented immigrant, so that could lead to trouble when this information comes in the wrong hands. And a really fun thing about her character is that she can't lie without vomiting. If she tells a lie, she has to throw up, which is obviously very useful for our detectives to use her to get the truth about people, about a situation. And the setting is this old mansion that actually has like some elements of the mystery novels Harlan wrote. So like some windows that aren't actually there and stuff like that. So that's fun. And there are doggos. And now I'm more scared than excited to hear the genre.
Okay, so what's the worst kind of genre you could come up with a detective drama?
What is it?
It's Bollywood movies. With the... You have to stop, drop every 5 minutes and do a song.
Amazing.
So yeah.
Holy shit.
This is going to be wild.
I don't even know. Okay. Sure.
Thing is, I was so scared you would pick Bollywood movie for my biopic because it is such a silly thing to pick.
That's true. I think at some point I thought about doing something kind of like musically, but then I thought, wait, we just had musical. So I decided against it. And then I thought, no, wait, I want to do a superhero movie that would be fun with like actually like a historical movie about like actual real persons. So like I thought like, yeah, that's the way to go. But I understand now why you were scared
Yeah.
because that's a possibility for sure.
Yeah, I picked Bollywood movies because in a musical it all has control and stuff, like they are not randomly breaking into dance. But with this kind of Bollywood movie, I'm envisioning it's really randomly breaking into dance, and like you have this time frame where it's like, okay, 10 minutes have passed, we need another song, no matter what the fuck they're doing. Okay, so Bollywood movies. They have catchy songs and dance, lavish costumes. They are love triangles, comedy, daredevils, thrills, angry parents. There are always some kind of sacrifices, and a ridiculous hero who can fight off villains single-handedly. And I'm talking about one blow to this side and that guy is done at the ground and not getting up again. They are based off 3-hour long folk theatre plays, and the first Bollywood movie, which I need to point out, was made in 1897 in Bombay, made by Hero San and some weird English guy, which does not deserve to name. Most famous, they have whole actor families. Something like the Barrymores were in like the 1990s and to early 2000s. Something we do not have anymore. But they are still a thing, like the Kapoor family, Ray Kapoor being being in the golden age of Bollywood in the 30s and in the 40s, and then you have Kareena Kapoor, and of course Shah Rukh Khan, which might be a bit more familiar. And they all have different genres, of course. There's also this superhero genre and thriller genre, but I'm talking about the really classical, catchy, terrifyingly cheesy. We have to break into dance and sing no matter what the fuck is going on.
I want to say like a big factor is also like the cheesiness of those kind of movies. And if I like think of those, I also always think like about really colorful kind of settings and clothes, and like everything's really vibrant.
And that's like the stark contrast to Knives Out. Knives Out is like most detective movies, air in this hue of grey, blue, lightning, and a Bollywood movie is a rainbow.
Yeah, it's like it's a lot more grey and like low key, while like Bollywood is like really in your face.
Yeah, and I've been thinking about it breaks into Bollywood into full Bollywood movie every 10 minutes. Like, you have this grey, depressing setting of a very serious detective movie, and then somewhere there's a chiming of a clock or something.
There's this really great thing in the movie that the character of Daniel Craig does, where he plays like this one musical key, and then like at the beginning you have like this usual thing where the police is there and asks everyone where they've been, and they tell about the evening in their own way. Which also is already funny because there are different accounts, and they're like, the movie is great, seriously watch it. But like he does the thing where he plays like a note on the piano, and then the detectives will ask this one question to everyone, and everyone's like, wait, who is he? He's been there the whole time? What is he doing here? And I think that could be used. Like every time our like hard-boiled detective plays some kind of note or does something, that's like the cue for everyone to get into like this musical and dance mood, and does like a whole Bollywood performance.
Yeah, and also when they're in the Bollywood mood, suddenly nobody speaks English anymore. It's completely in Hindi. And they are, at the beginning, they are all, and like when they snap out of the song, they are all very confused. Like they shake their heads and like, okay. And then they blink and it's like, something strange is going on. And maybe it was like a drug the great-grandfather, the guy who died, infused them to find out who killed him. Like, it's helping, or it's something, maybe the nurse has some kind of weird superpower, or even the detective has this weird superpower to reveal.
I just want to say, I feel like it's kind of supernaturally with this kind of idea that they're just burst out into it, like having no control.
Yeah, supernatural is also a thing. I didn't write it down, but it's also a thing. Like, there's this fate, there's kismet, destiny plays a lot in Bollywood movies. So, in the end, we could reveal that Danny Craig actually is fate, or the goddess of justice. I'm making Danny Craig gender fluid to me.
Okay, I think what's interesting now, or like difficult now, is to balance the original plot of the movie with the Bollywood. Like, is the whole Bollywood stuff that's happening just part of the movie, just in Hindi and colourful?
Yeah. You have
or is it like basically a B plot?
It's not a B plot. It's you do have you got flashbacks, and you have the different point of view of the characters.
You get definitely, like, you get the kind of like them recounting the events of the evening and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's in song and dance, but completely over the top, and you have no idea what actually is happening, who's actually doing what, and such like that. Like, it's there, it confuses you even more, and you draw wrong conclusions even more. Like, you do not know who done it even more. Like, it makes the movie 100% even more confusing. It's already a confusing movie if you're not paying close attention, but the Bollywood stuff makes it worse.
I see.
Like, in the end, you might even think the guy who initiated some weird outsider, the dog did it. In the end, you're thinking the dogs are guilty when they are not.
The poor dogs. Okay, but
doggos.
then is the question now, how do we want to do it structurally in the podcast? Because, like I said, I would very much like to not spoil the movie. But it's difficult to go through the notion of the movie and just put in those dance sequences and those Bollywood sequences without spoiling the movie.
No, we can just say, yeah, we are just saying, yeah, colourful Bollywood movies.
What?
No, we can just say, yeah, there are dance sequences happening, very colourful and very silly, because they're in Hindi. I can't obviously talk to you guys in Hindi, because unless we have listeners in India.
Okay, I still don't quite know how we are doing this now.
Okay. The problem is you do not want to spoil the movie.
Have you seen the movie?
I've seen it. I don't remember who did it. I only remember who was innocent. I love the twist at the end, but also I remember Chris Evans. Listen, the only thing I remember is Chris Evans, if I'm honest. I didn't even remember Danny Craig being in there. And the daughter of Tommy Lee Jones or something? Jamie Lee?
Yeah.
Jamie Lee was in there. Jamie Lynn? I watched it only because of her, because I like her. She's a great actress.
Yeah, no, the cast is really, really good. As I was saying, like, obviously, you have Chris Evans in there, and you're like, yeah, okay, I want to watch that. But like the rest of the cast is also really, really amazing. You have, you think of Jamie Lee Curtin, I think, in there.
Jamie Lee Curtis. She's the daughter of Tony Curtis. The throwback to our Marilyn Monroe episode.
Yeah,
with
to
the Starlet Band.
I just want to say the Starlet Band. Okay, so Lito and I talked for a second and decided the way to go is to actually go through the whole plot, meaning spoiling the movie. So if you haven't seen it, pause this episode, watch the movie, and then come back. This is your spoiler warning. You have been officially warned that we will spoil a murder mystery whodunit. So, yeah. If you stay and haven't seen it, that's on you. We did everything to stop you from doing so. We also had cake. My idea would be that we assign those archetypes you mentioned. Those kind of people who are like permanent... I forgot the word. like you said, like the daredevil or like the one who does the sacrifice, like that we assign those kind of roles to the characters.
Mm-hmm.
And that we are then going through the complete plot and say when there is going to be a musical number and maybe how it's going to look like, at least a little bit.
Yeah, and what to look out for, especially in the musical numbers, because they are character based.
Yeah.
But there's always this one little detail which will bring you onto the right, or maybe wrong, or draw wrong conclusions.
Exactly. Okay, so I would say we start with assigning the characters, right?
Yeah.
We have the detective played by Daniel. Here we go again. I don't know why I'm not able to say the name right at the moment. Daniel Craig. Daniel Craig. Daniel Kraken.
I just want to point out that while we are having lava cake, which was fantastic, he actually managed to say it correctly, and I would just stared at him in awe, like.
I know how to say the name, just not right now, not in front of the microphone for some reason. You said we had like the guy who's like the daredevil, or like the person who's the daredevil. I would say that's Ransom, because
That's Ransom, definitely.
Okay, real quick, because I didn't summarize it with the spoilers in the beginning. It turns out that Ransom actually is behind it. He switched out the medicine. So Martha thought she gave the wrong medicine to Harlan, but in reality, she did it right. But she thought she gave him way too much morphine, and he decided to commit suicide so the blame wouldn't fall on her and she wouldn't be deported because she's undocumented in the country. And actually, Ransom wanted her to switch it because he found out that in the will she's getting all the money and he was going to be cut off from the money. And yeah, that didn't sit well with him. And then he tried to win the trust of Martha and tried to destroy the evidence that they weren't actually switched, because what he needed was to prove that Martha was behind the killing, because that was the only way that she wouldn't get all the money. Yeah, so it makes sense that he's the daredevil.
Mm. And you can see it on his clothes, like he has like, in the movie he has this very...
He has the sweater.
Yeah, he has the sweater. And it kind of lifts him up from the whole family.
He's very posh looking.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole family is pretty wealthy, but like... Yeah.
He looks like a lumberjack, but in fancy.
Basically, yeah. Okay, what kind of other like archetypes were there?
We obviously have the star-crossed lovers, but we do not have star-crossed lovers.
No, there isn't a romance part.
We have the angry parents.
I mean, I also, like, Harlan would count at that, I think, because, like, he's very angry what his family is doing.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why he took, like, the money.
Yeah, but there are also these over-the-top parents, but the angry parents are mostly related to, like, the romance plot and stuff like that. Yeah, you have the love triangles. We do not have love triangle. We are not creating love triangles. Wow, this is an episode where nothing is gay. Terrifying. You have the sacrifices. The sacrifice is obviously going to be Harlem.
Yeah, because he kills himself, sacrifices his life for Martha.
Yeah, but then you also have the sacrifice for Ransom, because he kind of does a sacrifice of his own.
Yeah, he's also willing to sacrifice Harlan for money.
Yeah. Then you have the hero who fights a villain single-handedly.
That could be our detective, technically.
I would have our detective done as like the goddess of justice. Like he's the supernatural element.
Right.
Like he has to be the supernatural element because.
Mm. And why is he so good as he gets his suspects to do this Bollywood performance, which gives him clues.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. I don't know who it would be then, because yeah.
Yeah, maybe we just do not have that archetype. We have the obviously the innocent angel who is traumatized.
Yes.
That's our poor baby
Martha.
And she always wears the color. She is in the dance sequences. She's always dressed in white, but has like one very prominent drop.
Yeah, red blood on the shoe, because that plays a big role in the actual movie as well, because like she has just drop of blood on her shoe.
Yeah.
And it's like very dramatic revealed, and then in the end
Yeah, and what I've been thinking, like she stands out because despite everyone wearing these really colorful Bollywood costumes and them being in saris and whatnot, she also wears all of them. I lost my stimming die, and it's so far out of reach. I don't know where it went. Right, everyone wears these colorful Indian costumes, saris and whatnot. She also does that, but she's completely dressed in white. And she wears Converse. She completely sticks out because she wears blood red Converse. And the more guilty the person they are, whose POV they are, the more these already blood red Converse, they just kind of die into the rest of her.
So like in Ransom's song, like she's basically completely in red.
But, yeah.
You have like a Carrie thing going on.
Yeah. And it also looks like they're blood splatters, and it's like growing. It's like moving up from the feet because it originates there. And it's like somebody hanged her feet up and just poured blood on her.
Yeah.
I'm gonna draw that and it will look fantastic.
I can imagine how it's going to look like. I think I know what kind of effect you're going for.
And maybe her clothes also change. Like the less innocent, the more innocent the character kind of is, the more modern the clothes are looking. But in like Ransom POV, she is completely blended in. I mean, the Converse are still Converse, but she has this fully bloody outfit, but it's also a sari, and she wears also hat. I
don't know. I think it makes more sense if she keeps the outfit and just the color changes.
Yeah.
I don't know, because the outfit change, I don't know how much sense it makes, because
too complicated.
Yeah, I'm also. What I think is, I'm scared that at one point you just don't recognize the characters anymore if you keep changing too much stuff about them. You know.
Yeah. So we just keep the Converse change and then the colors for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also such a detail you wouldn't notice at first glance because you wouldn't focus on Martha, obviously.
I mean, that's the whole point, and like the rarer like the closest get, the more you notice her. I mean. Then again, like she's pretty. I mean, there's this point in the movie where it switches. At the beginning, you're not really suspicious of her because you have this vomiting thing, so she can't lie. So you know, okay, she has to be telling the truth. But yeah, at some point you get the truth and you notice what's going on, and then you still root for her because you know it isn't her fault. Because Ransom also took away like the antidote, otherwise it wouldn't have been a problem either anyways. Yeah.
Okay, we got this.
Okay, what else do we have? Do we have other archetypes we can use? Or are those the ones we assigned?
You also have a comic relief character, and you also have the disgrace of the family.
I mean, Ransom is also kind of
Ransom
the
is-
crazy. Ransom is
Ransom's all of them.
everything.
Ransom is a whole Bollywood movie, including villain and love interest on both sides.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So we haven't assigned Linda and Richard. I mean, I could have seen them as the parent as well. I think
Yeah.
a parent because like Ransom did some bad stuff.
Yeah.
Walt could be the family disgrace as well because like he's like keeping the company of the father and does nothing else basically, and then even gets fired from there.
What a mood.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
said,
But they aren't really that important. I mean, they're main characters, but
yeah,
wouldn't have remembered them as actual main characters.
they're like part of the people who look up at the house at
Yeah.
the end where Martha's standing with the great cup where it says my coffee, my cup and my house, I think, something like that. It's really iconic also because also this cup is in the beginning of the movie. Anyways, it is a great movie filmmaking wise.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then I would say we are doing the thing we did with the Indiana Jones one as well, and I'm just going to go through the plot and we decide what kind of dance numbers we're going to have. Right?
In English, you want to assign English songs.
No, I just want to assign that there is this dance happening, those are the costumes, those are the characters who are in the forefront.
Okay.
Or what's your, because we said like, yeah, the character look or like through the songs, he knows like Justice, the goddess knows like who is how suspicious in whose mind. So I would go through like what kind of like special things are noticeable in the songs. That's what I mean.
Okay.
Or like in the dances more like than in the song.
Yeah.
Or what are you thinking?
No, I had a bit of a shock because I was like, wait, do we have to write songs again?
No, I wouldn't write songs again. No, definitely not. No, I want to go through it. Like, this time it's mostly about the dances and the costumes, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the first song probably comes when Fran finds Harlem dead the next morning.
Mhm.
Because, like, she's in complete shock that the guy is dead who she just tried to bring coffee.
Yeah. And you have this very dramatic Bollywood zoom-in music. Have you ever seen a Bollywood movie?
I haven't seen a complete movie, but I saw enough like scenes
Okay.
and stuff that I know what you mean.
I've seen too much of them. Yeah. So there's this really dramatic movie before everyone a song when something dramatic happens, when somebody dies, and there's like the zoom-in movie, zoom-in music, and you started drawing ghosts.
Yes, sorry, I need to do something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's happening. And then you get the character introduction to all of the characters.
Yeah, I think like just we have like this really dramatic and she's just like, what the fuck is happening? It was really funny if he also changed like Harlan's already dead in the scene, but like if he also changes like the costume for the dance sequence.
Yeah.
And I just imagine having like Harlan's corpse in the background dancing as well.
But it's like Weekend and Bernie's situation where two
Yes.
guys are holding it up and he's like,
Yes.
you can't see the dance mode, but I'm Weekend.
It's just an arm wiggle.
Yeah, it's just the Jesus arm wiggle.
Like
Yeah.
a flying bird.
Yeah, basically. And basically it's right, they zoom in, very dramatic music, and then somewhere goes a one of those confetti thingies. It pops, and there's confetti flying through the air, which is blood red. And then there are characters streaming in from everywhere, like so many doors are opening. You didn't know there were doors, and they are all streaming in. It makes poof, and there's a huge scene, and they're all dancing. Harlem is in the background, weekending at Bernie's with two other guys who wear rainbow stuff, because I need to bring in the gay. And Yeah. And characters are introduced that way. And then it all reverts into a very sad, dramatic beginning of, family gathering. Nobody wants to be there. Everyone is at each other's throats. Literally. But not actually.
Right. So then we get the interviews with the different people who get asked like, yeah, when did you arrive at the party? What did you do at the party? Talking about the birthday party. Yeah. I think we already established like well in the beginning that all of those interviews should be in song and dance.
Oh yeah, they are.
So we just see like the birthday party from different views, always in song and dance. All right, okay, yeah. Then the different secrets are also revealed, like that Richard cheated on his wife Linda, the daughter of Harlan. That Joni, the daughter-in-law, who is a widow, stole the money by claiming to get by getting the money for the college of the daughter, Meg. Like for Meg, she gets the money to her bank account, but actually the money is paid to the college directly as well. So she got the money basically twice. So she stole from him. That gets discovered, and Walt is fired from the publishing company actually during the birthday party. So yeah, much drama going on you can sing about. And yeah, Ransom discovered that he has been cut off the will. There's where the other kid comes into play I haven't mentioned before, who like heard this conversation while he was on the toilet. Right, then we have the scene from Martha's perspective, who shows us what actually happened the night, about the medication switch, which wasn't actually a switch. And I think we need a song at one point, because they play the game of Go, and I think that could be like kind of song worthy, I don't know. And then obviously when she realized she accidentally switched the medication, even though she didn't, but she thought she did. That's like the tragic thing, like he didn't have to die, like.
Yeah. So we could have like a 2 POV for Martha and Ransom's bit there with the medication. Like you see her point of view and everyone is in the background just being dressed in black and she's in white, and that's the dance scene.
And we can also like already bring in there that like how shady like Ransom is, just like with like tiny designs maybe like on his outfit or something.
Yeah, he's sneaking in and he has like blood spots all over.
Yeah, because he also stole the antidote.
Yeah. And like and maybe he has like a glove on one hand which is drenched in blood. But you do not recognize it at first.
It needs to be subtle.
I'm zoning out so hard right now. It's so weird.
Yeah, it's hard to push through at the moment. I don't know.
Because it's a Sunday.
Yeah, it's a Sunday and lots going on, and we had like a way too long pause because we needed to figure out how to do this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it needs to be subtle enough that you won't notice it at the beginning, because we still want it to be like a mystery.
Yeah.
And the only reason why we're getting those songs and dances is our detective, who is actually the goddess of justice, and that's like the way of figuring out who's suspicious in whose mind.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Maybe he just wears gloves.
Yeah, I mean, red gloves are fine. But I wouldn't make it too obviously like bloody, I think.
Yeah. Maybe they are red. Maybe they aren't red gloves. Maybe they are just black gloves.
I mean, I think gloves, like maybe even like those kind of gloves are like
medical. Medical gloves.
I think that would be too much. Medical gloves we could give Martha, because like she's the one who giving the medication.
And they are,
Would go for some really obnoxious leather gloves, I think.
yeah,
That fits.
red leather or then actual black leather, because black leather is just not. You would no, generally black leather. It's nothing you really would notice, but on Ransom it kind of sticks out. But then again, it would not stick out because he's that fancy boy.
I think I would go with red. I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I would say we also get in song, but like maybe later when we actually like not like we figure out pretty early in the movie what actually happened, but like because we kind of like those dances and stuff are motivated by I can't speak French. Beba.
Give I can't remember the goddamn name, and I know it's Blanc. Benoit Blanc.
Benoit Blanc. Because Benoit Blanc is the one who like is the motivation behind the songs and dances and who gets the information out of it. I wouldn't say we get like the song dance thing to what actually happened at this point because
Yeah.
it would be too early.
Yeah, it just leaves wrong clues.
Yeah, I would
And
just
it's only there to confuse and to draw wrong conclusions because, well, it puts Martha kind of in the spotlight, but not actually in the spotlight as being the one guilty. But you also have like shady business going on in the background, which you never notice. So everyone is a suspect, and you're clueless as fuck.
yeah, and then we have Blanc and Martha going around the house searching for clues, and I think because like she's always like hiding the clues or like just destroying the evidence, so you can have maybe incorporate what she does in the next song kind of. Like for example, she like steps in the mud where her footprints are, so they don't figure out they were there before. So like maybe you can have like her retracing some footsteps in the next dance or something to show that, or she's climbing like out of the window or like into the window and stuff like that. That's all the kind of things you can incorporate, you know.
Yeah. Obviously, at the end, it's revealed.
I mean, I think we got some more stuff theoretically. I would say think it would be very funny if we get like a song from the mother from Harlem because like she doesn't really see what's around and she thought she saw Ransom even though she didn't. She saw Martha. But it'd be really funny to have like a song and dance from her perspective where like everyone is like just maybe kind of blurry even except for Ransom, but like you don't understand what it means. I don't know.
It's a very lucid dream sequence.
Yes, exactly. It would make sense to have songs with Martha and Ransom together when he tries to convince her that or maybe not because it's from Blanc's.
Think of one of the highest mountains in Switzerland.
It's still French and I can't do French.
I know, the French are the enemy. Benoit Blanc.
Benoit Blanc perspective, so it doesn't.
Yeah, I get it.
This is very difficult for some reason.
This is a fucked up Sunday. And Lord Byron is haunting us.
Truly.
Stop haunting us. Stop hiring us, Byron, what?
Oh, no, maybe it makes sense if we get the songs, but like they're still incriminating Martha because first off, at this point, Martha still thinks like she did it, and Ransom tries to convince everyone that Martha did it as well. So that's what we're getting. Then we're getting the scene where Martha finds Fran, who is like almost completely dead, and then calls an ambulance, even though she knows it would like incriminate her. But I think this could be also a number because it shows Our detective.
Yeah. I just thought about them dancing in the ambulance and just raving in there. And the ambulance and the ambulance isn't driving, it's just moved by loads and loads of people
I just wanted
lifting
to
the
say
ambulance up.
the ambulance isn't a real ambulance. Nice. No, but that's like the point where the detective realizes, yeah, okay, no, she did the right thing there and no longer tries to hide stuff from me. There's something else nefarious going on.
Yeah.
And I mean, friend dies, but Martha lies about it, and then that could also be another song sequence, like the whole end where like she's then getting stabbed with big air quotes because she's not actually getting stabbed, but
Yeah.
like with the stage knife. And then we know who's the killer is, and then at this point maybe we can reveal like the gloves being really like red with blood and stuff like that.
We also can reveal at the end it's like Manoir Blanc comes out as the goddess of destiny and
Justice.
Something
Yes.
like that, and also another big dance.
Yeah, I think we should have scenes in there where the characters are really confused that they're suddenly singing and dancing and stuff.
Yeah.
And then they understand it.
Yeah,
suddenly.
they have like these snapbacks. Like they don't. They need a moment to realize they're in dancing, and then they snap out of it after it's done, and they're like, "Huh, something. There was something."
Yeah, something weird just happened to me.
Yeah, but they can't quite fathom it, and at the end it's like, oh right, we were visited by the goddess of justice. It was planned with us.
And we also like the last scene where like everyone's looking at the house where Martha stands because like she owns everything now. We can definitely like do that as well as like the last musical number.
Would also be funny if she would have them like the wings of justice from that goddess in the back of her glowing.
Because she already said like she's like the innocent one, so that would make sense. Yeah. I think also fun would be like there's the scene where Walt is like, yeah, you need to like give up the will, and then we can make sure nobody will know that like you're undocumented here. And then she's like, yeah, how can you make sure of that? And he's like, yeah, with all the money we can have the best lawyers. And she's like, oh, okay, so that's not a problem. I have all the money, so I can get the best lawyers. I think that would be like also like a great thing, like almost like kind of like a rap battle, but like in Hindi and Bollywood.
Yeah, that exists as well. So, and then in the background they're just throwing money around.
Yes, I'm thinking like a little bit like Reynolds' pamphlet, but like instead of the pamphlets, it's the money.
Yeah, it's never gonna be president.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like she's never gonna get the will now.
Damn, his poor wife. All right.
That's against Richard though, because he's the one cheating. It's also the thing, like she finds out at the end over one of those secret letters, because Richard found this letter after he threatens to tell her if Harlan threatens to tell Linda if he doesn't, and he doesn't, and then he finds the letter he would send her, and he sees it's empty, but then it's obviously in invisible ink, so that's something she finds out at the end. That also could be like a dramatic musical number as well. All right, I think we're just so done with everything. We just need to go through the pitch meeting.
Woo! Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and non-binary masters of the universe. Welcome to the pitch meeting. And it's your turn.
Thank you very much. So, imagine a classic murder mystery. Whodunit, set in a mansion filled with stuff out of mystery novels. The wealthy author of those novels, dead, with a slit throat. found the morning after his 85th birthday party, where the whole family was celebrating. So naturally, everyone is a suspect. When Detective
Benoit Blanc.
When Detective Benoit Blanc Can you give me the name again?
Benoit Blanc.
When Detective Benoit Blanc joins the case.
How about you just say when detective and I come in? I know my place in this podcast. It's to pronounce alien words.
When Detective
Benoit Blanc.
exactly joins the case, everyone begins to dance and sing. Being transported into a Bollywood setting, giving clues and perspective about who is sus in which minds. A fun whodunit with captivating dance and music numbers, setting new boundaries in the mystery genre. And does the sentence not make sense? You look like it doesn't make sense.
It sounded like kept awaiting. Gimme.
Captivating.
Kept awaiting. Okay.
Like something's captivates you.
Ah, okay. Yeah, then you didn't do a thing wrong.
It's right.
Yeah, it's right. It's
Okay.
right. I was just mesmerized, first of all, by the whodunit bit at the beginning. No, it's
Okay.
you got this.
Right, then it's your turn actually.
It's my turn. Oh my god. Shit. So, this premise does look good to you guys, to me as well. So, we would need 40 million just for the remarkable, amazing cast, and another, let's say, 30 for all the costumes and decoration and coffee for Chris Evans. Don't think he drinks coffee. We can make it a round deal and say 70 million or something.
Yeah, the costumes and the Bollywood part of the movie just will be so amazing and colorful and stunning. Like the merch you will sell that makes more money than anything else.
Yeah, definitely tries to figure out how the fuck you're going to sell merch, but it will be running
Obviously.
for ages, because there will be one of these independent cinemas who will just refuse to let go of this movie. It will be running for 25 years, like that one famous...
It's been 80, yeah.
It's been 84 years! Like that one famous Bollywood movie called Who Gets the Bride First? Something like that. Don't
Famous,
remember.
something like that.
Yeah. That's actually been running for 25 years now. It's crazy. Like in a tiny independent movie, because the plot is... I'm getting sidetracked.
A little bit.
But
yeah, it will be more than worth it.
Yeah, definitely. So, and to wrap things up, you can follow us on social media, Instagram, YouTube, Tumblr, Twitter.
Yeah, you can follow us. That's my part. I was really confused for a second, but it's fine. After I stumbled over it this much last time, I understand why you took the lead on this one. Yeah, on Instagram you find us at J.
I had so much faith in you. You can do it. Come on.
Why on earth would you have faith in me?
Because you're usually the person who keeps their shit together.
Not today.
Not today, Satan. Not today.
You can find us on Instagram at J.E.L.Lehnsherr _official. On YouTube, just search for J.E.L.Lehnsherr. On Twitter, we are with the podcast. It's in Latin because we are cool, and the other thing was too long. It's at in _pod. On Tumblr, you can just find us by looking for the blog In Another Reality. All of that will be linked down below. You can buy the amazing poetry books from Lito, who is already shaking his head for some reason. They are at different places. ePubly, and you can find them at your local bookstore. You can find them in Kaufland for some reason, which is something I will bring up forever because it's so weird.
It's so random as well. We even put bookmarks in a local Kaufland and wrote, "Hey, you can buy it here." But yeah.
Exactly, and Amazon has them as well, but we don't want to give money to Jeff Bezos, so just support your local bookstore, ask for the books there. You can find also a link down below who shows you all the different books and how they're called, so you can order them properly.
As always, you would help us tremendously if you were subscribe here and wherever. And write us a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I'm glad it's written down there, because otherwise I would have said something different, like always. Yeah. Also, as always, recommend us to your enemies, to your friends, to your family, the dogs who are innocent, and give them cuddles. Give them loads of cuddles, or I will come over and cuddle them.
Yeah, I'd say all the cuddles. You can also recommend us in Song and Dance Forum if you want to.
Yeah, that would be hilarious. Just
if you do that, send us a video on the just mention social medias. Thank you very much.
As always, thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you so much, and
safe travels until next time. Woo! It's Sunday and we're finally off. Woo!
I can't believe we did